All right. So we're in here. I'm gonna let the video upload right quick. Okay, this is Trump and G. John Morant smoking on Michael Ray Richardson. As many of you know, John Morant was suspended again by the Memphis Grizzlies after the incident where he was shown playing with a gun on Instagram Live. It wasn't his Instagram account. I think it was one of his friends' Instagram account. One thing I can't figure out, not that it's in my business, but how come every time this guy is on a is holding a gun, he's always being videotaped? They were videotaped listening to NBA YoungBoy, which one of the hottest rappers in Louisiana right now, one of the hottest rappers across the country. But I can't figure why this guy's always being recorded doing something silly. I always had to take a picture of him holding a gun. I don't get it. This is not the first time he's run afoul of sort of NBA rules or team rules, shall we say. It's not illegal what he's doing. Okay, let's make sure we're clear. And he's been, had Chris Broussard caping for him. Block Boy JB, a Memphis rapper, caping for him. So basically saying it's not illegal, which is true. And Chris Broussard on my previous show, I basically said that Chris Broussard was talking about, well, what the NBA have taken, what the league have taken a type of stance with someone like a Josh Allen or maybe a white person, a white hockey player who was holding a gun. A lot of these guys hunt, so on and so forth. But the difference is that, in my opinion, is that it's been a culmination of other things involving John Morant, either aggressive behavior on and off the court or sort of gunplay, shall we say, or rumors of gunplay. He was in January, his father almost got into altercation with Shannon Sharp at a Memphis Grizzlies games versus the Lakers. Shannon Sharp started beefing with Dylan Brooks and spilled over into some of the players, and then Shannon Sharp, like he was making a move towards the court, then John Morant's father, like he was going to go after Shannon Sharp. I don't know why, but anyway. Then also in January, there was an on-court incident where someone from John's entourage had to be removed from the facilities because it looks like he was going to step to some of the Pacers players. There was a skirmish between the Pacers and the Grizzlies, so one of his friends, somebody from his entourage, either got onto the court, looked like he was going to walk onto the court and engage some of the Pacers players. I've never seen this type of behavior before from somebody's entourage, family members' entourage. Why do I need to know who John Morant's daddy is or who's in his entourage? Why do I need to know that? This is becoming a distraction for the fans and for the league. Also, after that game, there were rumors, some of the members of his entourage got into an argument with some of the Pacers players on the team bus, on the Pacers team bus. There was rumors that they were, shining a red beam inside the bus of some of the players at the Pacers game. And there were rumors that Ja was in the car when they were doing it. This can't be allowed by the league. And then he was suspended in March for, sort of taking pictures with a gun, I think, inside of a Denver nightclub. Then he was suspended again early this week for sporting a gun on an Instagram Live after he'd already told the commissioner he would stop doing that. So it's a combination of other aggressive incidents and other rumors of gunplay between with John and his entourage. And John Morant is uber talented. And it'll be a big blow to the Grizzlies, obviously, or the league to lose this guy. The Grizzlies have tried to arrest the situation by suspending him before the league got involved, which is smart because at least the Grizzlies know how long he would be suspended. If the league gets involved, you have no idea. So they tried to get out in front of this, which was smart. But like I said, he's uber talented, one of the top young players in the league. This year, for some reason, there's been a lot of distractions with this guy. Off the court, a lot of stuff on social media. It's a theme between him, Dylan Brooks, Jordan Poole. You got to perform. You got to get results. You just can't create a lot of distractions. a lot of rah rah and not get results. And you see guys like De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk who just put the work in and they just get results. And without the rah rah, not that Ja's not getting results on the court, but this year was pretty unremarkable for the Grizzlies. They've been beset by injuries, but I think anybody would agree that they haven't had the season that they had last year. It's a disappointment compared to last year. After what they did last year in the playoffs, they had high expectations and they disappointed because of a lot of reasons. Injuries, first and foremost, but if you're not going to perform up the par, you can't be a distraction. So that being said, we've seen uber talented players come before Ja. And one player in particular was Michael Ray Richardson, a guy I looked up to when I was a kid, and I'm dating myself. But Michael Ray Richardson, the kind of similar. He was 6'5", played point guard, just like Ja. Not as athletic as Ja, but great ball handler, great shooter. And he looked like a comet going down the floor. He would run at guys full speed. Nobody could stop him. He could beat guys to the left, to the right, and he was a great finisher. He's one of the first guys, one of the first big point guards in the league, 6'5" with long arms and a pure point guard. Put the people in the mind of Magic Johnson, who was 6'8", and played a lot like Michael Ray Richardson. And the funny part is that Michael Ray Richardson played at Montana, I think in the mid-'70s, for Judd Heathcote. And when Judd Heathcote left Montana, he went to Michigan State where he coached Magic Johnson. So they do have it's not a large degree of separation between Michael Ray Richardson and Magic Johnson. And Michael Ray Richardson played for the Knicks. He played about 8 years in the league. He played for the Knicks, Golden State, and the New Jersey Nets. When he played for the Knicks, he and Ray Williams, who's from Mount Vernon, New York, they bullied guys. Ray Williams was another big physical guard. They bullied guys. They bullied guards. They were great defensive players, and they intimidated people. He went to Golden State, then he went to the Nets, where I think he really shined with the Nets. Because not only was he, a good player physically, but he's a lot more wiser. And that's where I mainly remember him from, those years with the Nets, where he basically coming on the court full speed, had that gold chain, and people were scared to death. He put together some great years, and he had a lot of potential. Like a comet that shot across the sky. 1 year, the 83, 84 season, the Philadelphia 76ers, which was dominant back then. It was the Lakers, 76ers, and the Celtics. The 76ers were stacked. Moses Malone, Julius Erving, Andrew Toney. I think they probably had Phil Worlby Free was on the team, Bobby Jones. And they had just swept the Lakers in 4 games. They were looking to repeat, and they ran into a buzzsaw in the Nets, led by Michael Ray Richardson, Albert King, Buck Williams. Michael Ray Richardson was all over the place, getting steals, pull-up jump shots. He was unstoppable. I was a big 76ers fan. Michael Ray Richardson looked like a man amongst boys out there. He was toying with the 76ers. And that's probably one of his biggest highlights of his career, where he basically showed that he at one time could be the best guard in the league and potentially the best player in the league. So there was nobody bigger than Michael Ray Richardson when he was at his best, but he succumbed to drugs. A lot of drug problems. And back in the 80s, there were a lot of people doing drugs, baseball, basketball, so on and so forth. And I think people weren't really as aware of how addictive cocaine was at the time, but we were becoming very aware how addictive it was. It wasn't just like taking marijuana. This stuff was very addictive and destroyed a lot of people's careers. And the league had to figure out what to do about it. He was missing practices, not showing up when he was at games, he wasn't really performing up to par. And he was supposed to be a leader on the Nets team, and people were wondering, where's Michael Ray? Couldn't figure out whether he was going to be at practice on time, whether he was going to be at practice at all, whether he was going to... That type of stuff, when it comes from your best player, it really hurts the team's morale. And the New Jersey Nets ended up getting rid of Michael Ray Richardson. I think the league reinstated him, said, you can't just get rid of this guy. You can't do that. David Stern and the league officials said, look, you just can't discard a player like that. He had a big contract. And they started coming up with these rules about three strikes and you're out, which they gave Michael Ray Richardson several opportunities. I'm going to show a short clip of a highlight film of him just so younger guys could see what this guy looked like and what he meant to the league at one point.
quick as lightning, Michael Ray Richardson, Sugar Ray to his fans, hailed as the leader of a new generation of NBA stars.
Michael Ray was a guy who played just like I played. Every time I saw him, he went right at me.
Until his success changed everything.
Friends that I had in New York said, Mike, your boy Sugar's doing some bad things, man. A lot of bad things are happening to him.
I go home, the next day I come to practice. Where's Sugar?
The Nets really not know of his whereabouts right now, and, we hope everything's all right for Michael Ray Richardson.
I got this call from my friend up in Harlem, man, and he said his car is parked outside the crack house, and it's got a license plate, Sugar on it.
Non-stop partying, missed practices, lame excuses.
The whole Michael Ray Richardson thing was a mistake.
The crash of a legend in the making was obvious to everyone but him.
Michael Ray Richardson is permanently disqualified from playing basketball in the National Basketball Association.
The never-before-told story of a friend, a father, and the first NBA superstar banned from the game for life.
He was a comet flashing across the basketball heavens. He was there and he was gone.
Find out whatever happened to Michael Ray, a story told by Chris Rock.
Okay, let's sort of overview of the Michael Ray Richardson story. 6'5" point guard. Back then, there weren't that many big point guards. Long arms, so he played about 6'7". Great defensive player. He could shoot the lights out from mid-range. He could penetrate just about any time he felt like it. And he could finish with either hand. And something good was going to happen when he got into the lane. He was going to finish for an easy basket and find his teammates for an easy basket. He had the opportunity to revolutionize the game and be the prototype forward guard. Be the prototype guard in the NBA. His talent was otherworldly. And I grew up watching this guy, and we knew that, he had a drug problem. I was like, I'm a kid. I'm thinking he'll beat that. Then got in trouble again. He'll beat that. And then they ended up suspending him for life. I'm thinking, what in the world? This guy can't stop doing drugs. I mean, obviously, I was naive back then. A lot of people were naive as far as how addictive cocaine was at the time. And he left a big void for the league. He left a big void for a lot of the fans who looked up to this guy. And you like to see these guys, play up to their potential. Somebody with that much flair and that much charisma. I mean, he wore that gold chain, and he was very flashy and stylish. And he had the opportunity to revolutionize the game in the same way Magic Johnson, Dr. J, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan did. He was giving defenders all kinds of problems. Sunday Moncrief, all these guys. Michael Ray Richardson was a problem, and the league suspended him for life. And the league kept going on, and the league thrived without Michael Ray Richardson. And John Morant is, a great player, but if he keeps this up and he keeps getting suspended, or he gets suspended by the Grizzlies for an extended period of time, or by the league for an extended period of time, the league will still flourish without John Morant. The league is bigger than one person. And Michael Ray Richardson's story proves that. I don't know John Morant. I'm not trying to give him any advice. If he plays again, fine. If he doesn't play, that's fine too. I don't know Michael Ray. I don't know John Morant. But if he keeps up with this goofiness, he gonna find his way out of the league for an extended period of time, or in perpetuity. God forbid. So, and God forbid nothing. Hope nothing happens with this gunplay with him and his entourage or what have you. But he's been put on notice several times, and he keeps he doesn't care. So, but that's Trump and the GE. John Morant is smoking at Michael Ray Richardson. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you.